Hey everyone, in this video, I'm going to discuss about an interesting concept which is group buying. So very first thing, we have to import pandas and then we have to load our data. Already I have uploaded sales.csv. Let me just run this. So well done. We are done with loading data. Okay. So now the question is, what exactly is a group by? Group by in the sense, what if you want to group data based on one or more columns and you want to apply certain aggregate functions like sum, main, count, maximum, minimum, etc. So that's where group by plays a very important role. Simple understanding is, if you want to group your data and what if you want to find certain aggregate functions. In that case, group by is useful. You'll understand it better when I show you on examples. Don't worry. So we'll start with understanding with examples. My first question is very simple. I just want to find category wise, category wise sum of sales. I want to find category wise sum of sales. So we have our different categories, right? Like furniture, office supplies, technology. And with respect to that, what is the sum of sales we got from technology? What is the total sales we got from office supplies? What is the total sales we got from technology? To answer that, usually we use a group by. So whenever you want to perform a group by kind of thing, always remember, first thing you need to understand by which column you have to group it. Okay, and then you need to understand by which column you have to aggregate and which is the aggregate function. Okay, so it says category wise, so you have to group it based on a category. And group by column is always text kind of column itself, column which has a different categories, or it can be year column. Okay, aggregate should be applied on a sales and aggregate function is going to be the sum. If you know these three things, performing group by is like super easy. Okay, very simple. Yeah, so first call your data dot call group by. Group by which column? You have to group it based on a category column. Great. Then you have to apply aggregate, right? Aggregate should be applied on which column? Sales column. And what kind of aggregate you have to find? Sum of sales. Just use dot sum. Simple. Data dot group by, and you have to tell by which column you have to group it based on a category. And then numerical column, usually group aggregate function is always applied on a numerical column, sales. And then dot sum is an aggregate function. See what it is doing? It is grouping based on all the categories. You got three different categories and it is calculating sum of sales with respect to each category. I hope it's clear. Interesting, right? And one more important thing. So here you can see categories in our index column place. I want to reset it. So simple, just use reset index so that it just moves away from our index column and it will be normal column format. I hope it's clear. One more important thing, I hope this is clear. Grouping based on category, finding sum of sales. I'm just using reset index just to bring that category column from index column back to the normal format. Okay, it is removing from index place and it is sitting in a first column. Okay, and then what if I want to rename it? Simple, just use dot rename. Rename what? Whenever we use a rename, it should be like dictionary format, right? So sales has to be renamed with total sales or sum of sales, anything is fine. So I'll just rename it like a total sales. Since we are renaming column, it is super important to specify axis equals 1, right? So let me just get axis equals 1 and we want to make a permanent change, right? So it should be out of this. Sorry, yeah. Comma axis equals 1 and I want to make a permanent change, so it should be in place equals 2. Or even without in place equals 2 also it works because you can assign it to a new variable. See here? Interesting, right? First you'll group it, then you'll use reset index to move index column and to bring a normal index, and then rename dictionary, old name, new name, and axis equals 1 because we are renaming a column. Hope it's clear. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. Next interesting question is, what if I need to find? So category wise maximum sales. How do you find category wise maximum sales? Again, simple. Data got group by, group it based on category, and then it should be sales dot aggregate function is going to be max. Then, if you want to remove your category from index column, you just need to use reset index. So that the category column, whatever was there in our index column, will get removed. Okay, similarly. So what if you need to find subcategory wise average profit? What if you want to find subcategory wise average profit? Again, data dot group by group it based on subcategory. S should be capital, C should be capital. Okay, and then numerical column is going to be profit dot. It's an average, right? You have to use a mean dot mean. So it's giving you all the subcategories and also it is giving you average profit. First, you can reset index and then you can apply a rename so that you can rename the column name as a average profit. Simple dot rename, curly braces. So profit has to be renamed as what? Average profit. Since we are renaming a column, that should be axis equals 1. Done. Clear? Okay. All right. What if I need to find total orders in each region? So we did some max, minimum, as well as an average, right? Now let's see like how to find the total orders in each region. Very simple. Data dot group by group it based on what? A region column. And then basically you need the total orders, right? When it's a count and you want to find the total orders, use the same region or you can use an order ID. Dot, you can just use a count. See? Or you can also use order ID as well. Still you get the same thing. It just gives you like how many orders placed from central, east, south, west. You can do the reset index and also you can do the renaming and you can just give like a total orders. First, let's do the reset index. Reset index dot, just use a rename, curly braces. That should be an order ID, should be replaced with total orders and then comma access is equal to 1. Done. Now the important or interesting thing is, what if I need to find? To find maximum sales and minimum sales with respect to each category. I want to find what is the maximum sales, minimum sales with respect to each category. In this case, you have two aggregate functions, right? One is max, another one is a minimum. So now you have to use a different approach. Just call a data dot group by, group it based on category. Okay. Now we are not supposed to use sales within a bracket, rather use a function dot aggregate. Use dot aggregate and call your numerical column and write your multiple aggregates within a bracket. Maximum, minimum, see. And you have to pass it within a dictionary because it's a key value pair, right? Yeah. So data dot group by, grouping based on a category, dot aggregate, and then sales equals maximum and minimum. So it will give you maximum sales, minimum sales with respect to every category. Interesting, right? Again, you can do the reset index and you can do the renaming thing as well. I'll show reset index, renaming, you will do it. Okay, great. So next interesting one is, what if I need to find sum of sales and average profit with respect to each category or each subcategory, let's say. So simple, data dot group by, group it based on subcategory. Okay, then Dot aggregate, use your curly braces, and just mention our sales. We want sum of sales, right? So write a sum, comma. We want average profit. So call a profit column. Profit is going to be the key, colon. Value is going to be what? It should be an average. Done. It gives you subcategory wise sum of sales and average profit. We don't have an average, rather you have to use a mean. Yeah, look here. We got a sum of sales and also average profit with respect to every subcategory. Don't use AVG, use mean. Hope it's clear. You can do the reset index and also you can try renaming. I'll show you one more interesting thing, which is basically, how to group it based on multiple column. Okay. Let's say I want to find sum of sales with respect to each region and category. So I have to group it based on our two columns now. Data dot group by. So use a list and pass category and pass a region. Okay. And then since there is only one aggregate, you can directly use this approach, normal approach, sales, and you can just say sum of sales. It just gives you, see now, it will group in, first it will group it based on furniture, and then it divides into a region, and it gives you sum of sales with respect to every region, with respect to every category. Interesting, right? This is grouping based on multiple columns. Okay, I'll give one more scenario, interesting one. Let's say, for example, you want to find maximum sales and minimum profit with respect to each region and each category. We'll try. Okay. So data dot group by, group it based on multiple columns. So it's a category, comma region, group it based on region. Okay. Now, since we have multiple aggregates, let's make use of a dot aggregate. Dot aggregate, use a curly braces, and then we have to find a maximum sales. So call a sales column. Aggregate is going to be max, comma. Next one is minimum profit. So column is going to be the profit, colon. It should be minimum profit. See, done. It gives you with respect to every category, with respect to every region, it is giving you maximum sales as well as a minimum profit. So this is how you group your data and find the corresponding aggregates. I hope it's clear. I taught you the different possibilities, different ways to group data and also find aggregate values, single aggregate, multiple aggregate, grouping based on multiple column, finding multiple aggregates with multiple grouping, right? We learned renaming and also we learned how to reset index. I hope this is clear. Thank you. Happy learning.